your girl Brittany. I'm back with another video. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share, all that. If you're new here, welcome. If you're not new here, welcome back. Y'all know how I give it up and get down. Y'all, honestly, I'm sitting here hurricane Helening it up, you know. Don't want to go inside because I don't drive in the rain. I'm honestly kind of doing this video to distract myself from everything. And then on top of that, I fell asleep watching Bad Girls Club, and I was just like, okay, y'all know I love me some Bad Girls Club. So no lie, I had no intentions in doing this. I just woke up and doing it, and I was sitting here watching Bad Girls Club, and I was just like, oh shit, who ran each season? So I'm about to get over here and tell y'all who me, Brittany, ran each season. And you know, and if y'all want to hear about it, tune in, and if y'all don't, y'all. So my definition of who ran the house is not who was the fan favorite, not, you know, yeah, not any of that. My definition of who ran the house on Bad Girls Club is that who had the most influence, who had the girls shook, and who in the house, if somebody told them to jump, they did it. Like, who just had control, who controlled the atmosphere, you know, who was getting the girls in and out, you know. Yeah, not who was the star of the season, not who was, you know, the bully or bullied. Like, who ran the house, who had the girls shook, who was giving direction, who was telling the girls to jump, who are the girls naturally following. Because it's like, I feel like certain people ran the house unintentionally, and when I tell y'all who I feel like run the house on certain seasons, y'all gonna be like, they were kind of stupid. But it's just like, certain people just kind of had dominance unintentionally. Therefore, let's just get into who ran the house on these seasons. So I'm not going to do season 1. I really don't remember season 1 like that, because if I say it from the top of my head, I'm a factual person. I just don't throw things out here. I like to get my reporting 100% accurate, okay? So I'm gonna skip over season 1. But for season 2, of course, the winner of season 2 of Who Ran the House was Tanisha. And y'all, oh y'all, tell me why I got a whiteboard. I'm just like, when I start doing things, I want to be interactive. So yeah, for season 2, of course, we got to get it to Tanisha. And I really do feel like Tanisha, she had the girls shook. I feel like she controlled the dynamic of the house. And it's like, if Tanisha was upset, then the girls felt that. The girls, the energy in the house was, oh gosh, Tanisha's upset. Like, if somebody else was upset in the house, it was just like, okay. But it's like, when Tanisha was upset in the house, Tanisha was upset in the house. She would make a scene. The girls would feel it. She was banging pot and pans, which was like her breakout moment. And then, you know, her fight with old girl, it was like, she just kind of crashed out. And it was just like, Tanisha, the girls, she had, damn, I'm trying to think, what are the two girls? It's like, they were cool with her, but it was just like, I really do feel like the two girls that were cool with her, that kind of like followed her a little bit. It was like, it gave friendship, but it also gave, you know, Tanisha's to crash out in the house, and she's bigger and she's this, so maybe I should be friends with her. Okay, for season 3, I don't want y'all to be like, she tripping, I'm tripping when I say this, but no lie, for season 3, I gotta give it to the Ambers. It seemed like the Ambers had the most control in the house. Shit, they even bought Tanisha in the house. Like, I remember them going to like some radio thing. I don't remember too much about season 3, but I do remember them going to like a radio station, giving Tanisha. I remember like they were able to get under the girls' skin the most, and it's just like, yeah, it seemed like the middle of that season, the whole storyline, from what I remember, damn, maybe I shouldn't speak of it, but what I remember, it was just the Ambers. It's like everything revolved around the Ambers, and it's just like, Yeah, if it weren't for the Ambers, I don't even think I would remember that season at all. Because it's like, I barely remember anything about that season. But it's like, when I think of season 3, I think of shit with the Ambers. And it's like, I know we had, you know, the mama bear at the house. They had one of the other girls that the Ambers fought in the car. And it's just like, everybody else, yeah, they just played their role in the house, but the Ambers, they were kind of a little too, they weren't the best fighters, they weren't the best shit talkers, but it's like, they were able to get their way in the house. Anyways, yeah, for season 4, Natalie and Flo. At first, I was just gonna say Natalie, but it's like, the girls were intimidated by Natalie, but they were kind of scared of Flo. Like, even though Amber was doing all that with Flo and whatnot, I really do feel like Amber was doing all that. It was guys around and things like that. So it's just like, yeah, because even when they kicked Flo out, they waited till she was gone, threw water balloons at her and things like that. And it's like, even when they left Flo, when they were somewhere, it's like none of them wanted to deal with her BS. And it's like, everybody was irritated with Flo, but nobody was bold enough to actually fight Flo. It's like, some of the girls, they were, you know, they would argue back and forth with her. And I remember Kendra punching her in the face, and it was just like, girl, but it was just like, oh, so I'm trying to think, yeah, can I say Flo were in the house? Or maybe I should take that back. Yeah, maybe I'm gonna take that back. Yeah, now that I think about it, Flo had, people were kind of too loose with Flo. They were scared of Flo, but yeah, I don't think Flo kind of, I'm trying to think. Okay, let me move on to Natalie though. Maybe this will help me make my decision. Natalie was season 4. Period, point blank. Like, if it wasn't for, like, even those last few episodes when Flo and Natalie weren't there, they had to bring Amber back, and that's when that fight happened with them and Kate and whatnot. So it's just like, yeah. And when it came to Natalie, Natalie was season 4. It was just like, she had Kendra all down her back, and it's like, even though the girls didn't like Natalie, it seemed like they wouldn't say certain things to Natalie's face. It seemed like Natalie had certain girls in check. It's like, Annie always talked about Natalie, but it took Annie a while to actually vocalize anything to anybody, including Natalie. And she had beef with Natalie the most. It's like, Kate didn't like Natalie, but it seemed like Kate low-key wanted Natalie to like her. I remember what Natalie said, oh, I'm taking the pretty girls out, and you know, her taking Kate with her. And it's like, Natalie was really playing mind girls with these games, because she kind of knew the girls were intimidated by her. She kind of knew that, you know, she's from here, and some of the girls kind of wanted to, like, I don't know, it's like the girls didn't like Natalie, nor did they like Flo. And it's like, they were kind of scared of Flo, but at the same time, I kind of got the vibe that certain girls kind of wanted Natalie to like them. They kind of wanted to stay out of their way, because it's like, it was a lot of BS in season 4, and it was like, I know in the earlier seasons that they couldn't really fight, but it was just like, everybody was talking. Yeah, like, everybody was talking. It seemed like most of the aggression, like, Natalie would go off on the girls, and that vibe was felt throughout the whole house. But if Kate was mad, it would just be like, Kate's mad, Kendra's mad. But when Natalie and Flo were mad, it was just like, okay, Natalie and Flo are mad, blah, 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 blah. Like, it was just the atmosphere in the house, you know, when Natalie and Flo would crash out. It was like, if anybody else would have a little crash out moment, nobody really cared, you know. Nobody could really say anything to get anybody to, like, but Natalie and Flo, they knew how to piss these girls off, especially Natalie. Yeah, especially Natalie. It's like, Natalie knew somebody like Kendra loved her, wanted to be around her, wanted her to put her on, and it was just like, she took advantage of that. And Natalie knew she had the biggest personality in the house, and she used that to her advantage. So it's like, Flo is a good runner-up for this season, but Natalie was the whole season. So it's like, yeah, Natalie definitely ran season 4. Oh, y'all, now I want to do a separate video about who my favorites are, because I'm mad at some of my faves. I feel like they didn't run a house. But for season 5, my favorite was Kat. But honestly, y'all going to have to agree that Kristen ran season 5. It's like, regardless of all the shit that the girls said about Kristen, the dynamic of the house kind of ran off of Kristen. It's like there were a lot of crash outs on that season, because we had Brandy's crazy ass, Kat's crazy ass. I said crack. You had Kat's crazy ass. Oh my gosh. Leah, freaking what's the girl that came? Morgan. Like, it was a lot of crash outs this season, but Kristen was able to crash out and control the house, if y'all know what I mean. It's like she had Kaylee in her pocket. It's like it's like a lot of the girls didn't like her, like Danielle and Erica, but she was really able to get under their skin, and it was like they would go back and forth with her. But I know this is still early Bad Girls Club, but none of them really did anything. They sat in a circle and they talked to her, but it was like Kristen was able to manipulate and control the house because certain girls babied her. It was just like a lot of the girls looked at her like she was just some type of dumb blonde. But you know, Kristen, she was kind of dumb and she was blonde, but it was like Kristen, yeah, she ran that house. And especially when she got Leah on her side, and when you know, she had Kat and Morgan, and it was like she had somebody on her side, you know, like to keep like a sidekick, keep the dynamic going. Kaylee was kind of desperate. For some reason, Leah turned into a mini her when they got close. Her and Kat, their duo was cool. Like, I loved them together. But yeah, it's like Kristen always had somebody by her side. She manipulated the house. It was just like, yeah, no lie, I feel like Kristen ran a house. Whatever Kristen said went. It was like, okay, Brandy's upset, Brandy's crashing out, blah blah blah. But I remember especially when Kristen and Leah got together, because it was like nobody could stop them. Nobody could stop them. I remember when they were when it got to a point where someone ended up throwing bleach on Kristen. I remember that whole scene. It was like, by that time, it was only a few people in the house, but nobody could stop them. By that time, Kristen and Leah, they were doing whatever the hell they wanted to do in that house. Like, nobody was stopping them. They were making all the choices, all the influences. And it's like, if any of the other girls... Well, Brandy said that season, it was production's idea to get Morgan out. And it was like... Erica wasn't gonna say, you know, let's get Morgan out. Like, she's not someone that runs the house, and she's not someone, if she said let's get Morgan out, nobody would listen to her. And it's like, yeah, even with the whole thing with Kristen and Kaylee, like, Kaylee left because of Kristen. It's like she didn't leave because of this whole Jamaica thing. Like, she left and went back to Miami. She left because of Kristen. And once she realized that Danielle and Erica weren't gonna be on her side to get Kristen out, she left because she knew that she wasn't going to be able to take down Kristen, especially with Leah by her side. And it was just like anybody that wanted Kristen out the house, like I said, she just had a little strong sidekick. So by the time she got into her fight with Leah, yeah, it was just the replacements and Erica, and it was like they were able to, and because, you know, she got drugged and everything, it's like, yeah, so it's like, no lie, y'all, a lot of people, I be seeing a lot of bad things about Kristen, but it was just like, to me, Kristen ran season 5. She ran season 5. Y'all, I don't even have to say it for season 6. I don't even have to say it. Like, season 6 was literally Char's house. And I don't know if it's because she was the oldest or because, yeah, it's like, and my thing is, them following around Char, like, I didn't get it, because it's like, yeah, she was the oldest, but it's like, she didn't sound like she was the smartest. So it's just like, Char's influence in the house, it was always interesting to me. Like, I still didn't finish that season, but I know exactly what happened. And it's just like, I I don't know, Char's influence in the house, it wasn't, you know, like, Char wasn't my favorite. Oh, that's why I said I'm gonna have to do a video on who my favorites are. So yeah, Char wasn't my favorite, but she ran the house for some reason. Like, and it's like, I don't even want to say if the girls were scared of her. Like, the girls were just dumb. Like Jessica, Corey, and at one point it was Ashley. At one point everybody followed her. I think the only person that didn't follow her for a long time, or didn't follow her period, was Nikki, because they just always been at odds. But it's just like, yeah, at one point everybody followed Char. I was just always confused by it, because I was just like, who the hell is this? Like, what is she doing? What is she saying? It was just like, and the thing is, she wasn't physically intimidating. Like, and it was just like, honestly, I just didn't get it. Like, everybody else, I understand. Maybe because she was loud. I don't know. But it was like, and then it's like, Char's the one that cried when Lauren hit her. It was like, if Char ran a house and she was out there, she was getting in the field, then it would be like, oh, okay. But it's like, she got in everybody's face and she never did anything. So it was just like, not like she was like Kristen that was crashing out and actually throwing stuff and doing things. Not like she was like Natalie and Flo that was like doing things and causing scenes. It was like, Char, she threw some clothes out the window, but it was just like, she cried when she got hit. So it's just like, the fact that she ran the house and she had so much influence was just like mind-boggling. Okay, y'all, for season 7, I'ma say I feel like Stacey ran a house. And yeah, Stacey ran a house because Stacey did have the most influence. Like, she had her friend, you know, she had her bestie Tiara, but it was just like, Shelly claimed that Stacey was intimidated by her, but Stacey was not intimidated by Shelly. Like, she really played mind games with Shelly. She beat up Tasha. Priscilla never wanted to fight her for some reason. She was cool with Tiara, and it was like, at certain points she had Judy shook and had Judy in check for drinking, and it was just like, I don't know if it's because Stacey was louder or bigger, but her personality was really dominant. And it was like, the good thing is, in her friendship with Tiara, like, she never seemed like she put any authority or dominance over Tiara. But it was just like, when she was around the other girls, you can tell the other girls kind of like scaled it back. Because I remember she did try to fight Priscilla in the laundry room, but you know, they never fought. I know they fought Tasha, and it was just like, even with this whole Judy thing, she was able to manipulate Shelly to help her get Tasha out and Shelly get Judy out, and Shelly never got Judy out. And it was just like, Shelly thought Stacey was her friend, and it never gave that. And it was just like, when she was mad at Judy felt that. It's like, if Stacey was in the mood, it would just kind of be like, oh my gosh, Stacey's in a bad mood. It's like, the girls didn't like Judy, so it's like, nobody really cared about Judy. Nobody listened to Judy. Nobody was scared of Shelly. If Shelly was mad, then it was just like, okay, I will fight Shelly. But it's like, if Stacey was mad, it would just be like, nobody admitted to messing up her contacts. And it was just like, yeah, because Stacey had it in check. Like Perez said at the reunion, Stacey has it in check. This was another weird season to me that I don't know why they followed this person. But season 8, of course. Oh, y'all, this is not a 6. And I promise y'all, my penmanship not bad. You know, I just write it with a dry erase board. But yeah, season 8, Erica ran the house, and for the life of me, I could never understand why. Because Erica was not that loud. She was not intimidating. So it's just like, I don't know why they follow her. Do y'all think it's because she had the most tattoos? Like, was she the tallest or something? Like, I'm confused on why. And the crazy thing is, Erica's dominance in the house happened fast. And the crazy thing is, the first night, she fell asleep. She didn't even see all the tea in the first night for her to really, you know. And the thing is, during the first night, Erica was asleep, and it was just like, I know the girls didn't really know each other and all the girls were fighting, but it's like, shit really didn't start, you know, until the next day when Erica was just like, oh, y'all, I feel like it all started when Erica called that house meeting when everything went down with Amy. Erica was the one that called the house meeting. That's probably unintentionally how it started. Because I think they did say, let's have a house meeting, but I think Erica was the one that called people down. It just seemed like Erica was the one, y'all. Like I said, I don't know why the girls were intimidated by Erica. And it's like the twins were so up her ass. And it was just like, when they fell out, the twins claimed they didn't care. But when they got back together, the twins would seem like they were happy by it. Like when where did they go for their little trip? They went on their little mini trip, and that's when Mimi was spazzing out. And it was just like, the four of them were happy to be back together. And it was just like, bruh, I don't know why they wanted to be all up Erica's ass. It's like, what connections did she have? And not like, no lie, her rap was, stay homie hopping, stay at home blogging. I did like that. I'm with Gigi and Amy, and we making it kill it, turn it up, yeah. Turn it up, yeah. Oh, my bad bitches in here, turn it up, yeah. But yeah, I don't know what that was, but yeah, for some reason they loved Erica and they were scared of her and they followed her around, and yeah, I didn't get it. Y'all, for season 9, I don't even have to say it, Julie, like, and the crazy thing is, when Megan was in the house, she thought she ran the house with Julie, but I don't think Megan ever had any influence in the house. It's like, Megan could fight, but it's like, I don't think she had any type of putting the bug in the ear, flip it thing like Julie. Like, Julie was the one manipulating things, going back and forth, telling people to do this, telling people to do that. Like, she's the one that started the thing with Erica and Rima. Yeah, and it was like, they're the ones that started with Andrea. Shit, they're the ones, she's the one that, you know, had all the ideas of messing up everybody's stuff. So I remember she was doing ham on Rima's bed, and it was just like, for some reason, Julie was too turned up on that show. And it was like, that was the best reunion ever. Like, I was glad that Julie got her just desserts at the reunion, because it's like, for some reason, Julie just controlled the dynamic. And it was like, I hated that when Erica was there, Erica fell into it. Christina never fell into it, but I was upset that Erica fell into it, because it's like, even though Julie told her like, oh, Rima's doing this, Rima's doing that, it's like Julie kept egging it on with Erica and Rima to the point where Erica snapped and she had to get sent home. So damn, y'all, as much as y'all would hate to admit it, because they were so not likable, but Valentina and Alicia ran season 10. You know, they had everything right where they wanted. They instigated all the fights with Rocky. They instigated all the fights with Shannon. They manipulated Nancy. Like, they waited to tell Nancy something so she can crash out on Rocky. Yeah, it was like, they were the messiest. They controlled it. They were the biggest crash outs. Well, shit, Valentina was the biggest crash out of that whole season. Like, that girl was crazy. Like, I remember Alicia saying that she ran the house, and at first I was like, she's not gonna run the house. But it's like, for some reason, the dynamic kind of ran around how Valicia was feeling. Like, if Valentina and Alicia were having a bad day, then the house was gonna fight. If they were having a good day, then it's like, okay, maybe we could get along. Like, yeah, moral of the story, as much as I hate to admit it, it's like, if you go back and watch all the dynamics of season 10, like, you can just see that Alicia and Valentina were in the core of it. Like, you had the other friendships, Paula, Stephanie, but it's like, they really didn't get too messy. And it was like, Paula's fight with Shannon, you know, they kind of mended it, squashed it by themselves. But Paula really didn't listen to anybody. Paula really wasn't a follower, or she wasn't really influenced. But you can tell Shannon stayed on edge in that house, because she knew one day if one of them tweaked out on her, then yeah, it was gonna be a bad day. And it was like, she even sometimes apologized to them to keep the peace and went along with them, because she didn't want any of their bullshit. So yeah, season 11, I gotta give it to the leaders of the wolf pack, Jazz and Tiana. It's like, I can't add Gigi in there. I feel like she didn't have any influence. Stephanie was irrelevant. They kicked Shanae out. And yeah, I think that was all the members of the Wolfpack, if I'm not mistaken. But it's like, Jazz, the one that, you know, had this idea, which I now know came from production, to like get Janelle out. And it just seems like the whole dynamic of the house ran off of what Jazz and Tiana thought. And, you know, they just had their followers come in and help them put into action. Like, when Janelle left, that was up to them. Everybody followed. Jazz is the one that hit Haley and they all jumped in. Jazz is the one that tagged me in to hit Sarah, then they all jumped in. And it's like, when Tiana wanted to leave, Jazz jumped up and was just like, I want to go home too. And it was just like, girl, like, it just seemed like the whole season 11, their dynamic ran off of, okay, does Tiana and Jazz, do they want people to go home today? Do they want people to go home tomorrow? Because it's like, it was at certain points where it looked like everybody was cool, and because I remember I remember Tiana and Janelle having conversation, and it was just like, but she woke up and said she wanted the girl to go, so she, you know, had to go. And Jazz and Tiana, they just had they wolf pack, they group of followers. So it's like anybody that went against them, unfortunately, was going to get jumped. And shit, Andrea even left because she was like, okay, now that Tiana got a problem with me, everybody else got a problem with me. And that just goes to show that, yeah, they run the house. Because if Gigi had a problem with her, if Stephanie had a problem with her, then they just had a problem with her. But when she first got there and Jazz had a problem with her, she was kind of testing the waters. But later on, when she wanted to be friends with them and she saw what was going on, and so when Tiana got crazy with her, she was just like, yeah, maybe I need to go home because I'm gonna get jumped. So next we have season 12, and who I think ran the house on season 12 is nobody. It's like, we had the Fab Four, and yeah, they were the ones that were turned up, aggressive, and starting all the fights with other people. But it's like, I really don't think the other girls were really fazed by them. I don't think anybody followed them around. It's like, once the house was like divided, I don't think Jada was really pressed to be cool with, you know, Lo. I don't think Alex was pressed to be cool with Lo. I feel like Alex was lame in that she ain't stand her ground, but I don't think she was too pressed or doing too much to be like, oh, like me. Asia, she was just obsessed with Blue, so I don't think she kind of paid Lo, I don't think, you know, yeah. Like, honestly, the dynamic of season 12, like, the storyline just revolved around Jada. And it's like, Jada didn't run the house. Like, Jada wasn't starting stuff. It wasn't dictated on how Jada felt. Like, the girls just didn't like her, so they were literally picking with her. So when it comes to season 12, their dynamic was weird, because it was just like, the girls just didn't have any influence. Yeah, like, they didn't have any influence. So yeah, season 12, it was just a house and people didn't like each other. It was nobody that was, you know, oh, let's start this or let's do that. Shit, production, a word on the street is production had to put the X on somebody's face to start something, because it's just like, hello, like, who's running the house, who's manipulating people, let's get this ball rolling. For season 13, I have to give them an X as well. Like, I don't think anybody like ran the house. Like, I feel like on the redemption season, like, you know, they were kind of like redeeming themselves. So it's like, I don't think anybody was like, you know, on some let me run the house type stuff. It's like, Natalie, I can say she tried, but she got sent home. If Natalie would have stayed, she would have, you know, had that season in her hand. Because Natalie ran the duration of the time that she was on, but she didn't run, you know, the whole thing, season 13, because, you know, she left. So, well, okay, so I guess we can say Natalie, but the thing is, Natalie, she just had Sarah and Judy. Like, yeah, Natalie didn't run the house season 13 because she just had Sarah and Judy, and it's like, yeah, and with her influence in them, she wasn't, well, no, because she made Judy throw that drink. Yeah. But yeah, I wouldn't say run the house. It was just like, she just had some followers, but her followers, they weren't really hitting on nothing. It was like they weren't taking control of the house, and it's like Natalie got herself, and Natalie got sent home. Yeah, so it's just like, yeah, nobody ran those 2 seasons. Then honestly, I'm going to say the same for season 14. It's like if Jayla stayed, I feel like Jayla and the twins, they could have had the house in their hands because they were more dominant. But when they left, it was just like I stopped watching the show. It wasn't really interesting to me, and I don't know if the new girls that came had any dominance, because who was else on that season? Lauren and I don't even remember the girls who were on that season, honestly. So it's like, yeah, y'all, I really don't have, when I do these videos, when it comes to season 14, it's just like, I don't got much to say about it. Okay, season 15 is interesting. Like, I'm trying to think that they have a group of sisters that just ran the house, and I don't know, because it's like they had sisters that were more dominant than others, but it was just like everybody had their duo that kind of stood their own ground. So it's like I don't want to say that anybody ran the house, because everybody was just duoed up. But season 16, Dream ran the house when she first got in, but she only stayed there for 3 days, and it's like after she left, Winter tried to pick up the momentum and tried to keep it going, but she couldn't. Like, Slay dropped out, and she just had Adrian, and it was just like Adrian was not a good duo buddy, because Adrian and Winter were not intimidating, and they didn't give run the house energy. For some reason, Dream did. Like, she was able to like take control, you know, start drama. But it's like as it went on, Winter didn't start any drama. She was just in her own, like, she didn't have control or influence between the girls like she thought she would. Like, she tried to get Kaylee out the house, and Slay was just like, no, let the girl stay, and she was just like, I guess. So it was like Winter thought she was gonna run the house, but yeah, girl, you didn't. Season 17 was interesting, because at first I thought Key ran the house, but it's like Key was just loud, aggressive, and annoying, and Kiana was just loud, annoying, and lame. So it's just like when it comes to that season, I don't think anybody ran the house. They just had beef. Nobody had any influence or anything. Like, yeah, season 17, their dynamic was weird. It was nobody that ran their little, not even their house, their little freaking manufacturer worker place. Nobody ran that little BS that they was living in. Like, they were just living in, arguing, and nobody was just like, hey, let's do this, let's do that. Like, nobody had control. Like, production was probably stepping in and telling everybody to do something, because it's like the issues that they had, it was kind of like dry. Like, yeah, like, I don't know, season 17, it was just like, but nobody ran that season either. It's like maybe as the seasons went on, it just started getting like they couldn't find no girls that was there to just turn that shit up. It's like, but whatever. But yeah, y'all, that's all I have. Like I said, I was kind of feeling womp womp, and then it's raining hard outside, and I'm watching Bad Girls Club, and now I'm about to binge watch season 5. So yeah, I just wanted to see, and I'm about to watch season 5 where Kristen run these girls around and control this house. So yeah, in the meantime, just make sure y'all like this video, comment on this video, subscribe to me, share this, and all that.
Don't play with it, don't be dishonest. Ay, still not understand.